If you've ever wondered after doing IVF, which embryo should I transfer first? Or questions like, do I have enough embryos to meet my family building goals? This video is for you. Now, this is a topic I cover a ton in my book, The Lucky Egg, specifically in the chapter, Your Embryo's First Report Card, where I give you a crash course that I like to call Embryo Grading 101. But to better help answer this question, I created a practical tool on my website, theluckyegg.com, that you can actually use to rank your embryos based on their grading. This tool is powered by real data from a study that I co-authored in 2019. In the study, we looked at over 2,000 euploid embryo transfers that were done over a 5-year period where I work. And we analyzed how the grades of each embryo related to the actual live birth rates, the outcomes of the transfers. Now, one of our major findings was that the speed at which the embryo developed, how long it took to be ready to be biopsied and frozen, where it separates out into two cells, the cells that become the baby and the cells that become the placenta, that was a major factor in success, along with the grading corresponding to the cells, the inner cell mass grade that actually becomes eventually the fetus if that's an embryo that implants. Now, I want to show you how the tool works. The first step is you go to my website, theluckyegg.com. This is completely free and open access to everyone. And go to the calculator tab along the top. I have many different calculators and tools that you should check out if you haven't already done so. And you're choosing the Embryo Ranking Tool. And use the tool by putting in embryo-specific information for each of your embryos. And you can enter information for up to 15 embryos. And you're basically going to put in the day of development, the day the embryo was frozen, whether it's a day 5 or day 6 or a day 7. And then you're going to, from the drop-down menu, select the specific grade corresponding to each embryo. There are 4 major components to the grading system. The first is the day that the embryo was frozen. When you're talking about day 5 or day 6 or day 7, we're talking about blastocyst stage embryos. The first digit in the score corresponds, it's a number, it corresponds to the expansion. We know expansion grade 6 means the embryo is fully hatched out of its shell. And 4s or 5s mean that they're still in the shell that they inherited from the egg. And then when you look at the first letter, that corresponds to the cells, the inner cell mass, that will one day become the fetus if this is an embryo that implants. And then the last letter, the third digit in the grading system, is the trophectoderm, and that's for the cells that will one day become the placenta. Once you've entered all 4 embryos, I'm using 4 embryos as an example here, I will hit calculate. And here's the ranking. The tool instantly tells you which embryo has the highest relative chance of success based on what we know from actual published data. It can help you get a sense of how to think about your embryos, how to prioritize which ones to use first, and it gives you clarity on where you stand. You can try it now for free on my website, theluckyegg.com.